And is there any chance that such an agreement will pass muster with our EU negotiating colleagues? That's the big deal. We'll see how far some sort of sense of consensus emerges, whether one of these amendments gets a majority. There's no guarantee that any of these amendments will eventually get a majority, but to have a little bit more of a sort of perspective on this and what we can expect from what will be 5 hours of no doubt passionate debate, I'm delighted to be joined by Asa Bennett, the Brexit commissioning editor, no less, of the Daily Telegraph.
Good afternoon.
A party which has historically close ties with the Conservative Party. From an outsider's perspective, because frankly I'm getting a bit confused by the procedural business, what can we expect to happen by 7 o'clock this afternoon? And why is it important to the general movement of the Brexit process?
Well, still sore from the historic rejection her Brexit deal had earlier this month, Theresa May is now trying to find out what exactly Parliament wants. And so there are a variety of amendments, basically shopping lists, in which they are debating which might be interesting, ranging from how about we just delay Brexit? How about we just, delay it into the never-never, kick it into the long grass? Or more Brexit-friendly ones, like one by a senior Tory backbencher called Sir Graham Brady that says, how about we just find alternative arrangements to the backstop?
The dreaded backstop.
Indeed.
Rears its head again.
Dogged of Ireland and various of Bain in Brussels.
But the most unpopular part of the deal for her own MPs and her Irish allies. So it's quite a big issue, isn't it, the backstop?
Oh, completely. But the thing is, what Theresa May is now trying to put as an argument to her party is, in order to convince Brussels, which, as you've alluded to, remains highly sceptical to any changes to the backstop, it needs to have a clear sign, an ability to show the Prime Minister that they will only pass it if there are changes to the backstop. Of course, Brexiteers, some of them are holding support for the moment. They've yet to decide if they want to support it because they're a bit paranoid because of the delightfully legalistic language around this amendment that says we'd like alternative arrangements. Obviously, what could that mean? It's not that they don't want a better backstop.
To keep the Irish border open. Alternative arrangements
the insurance policy to keep the Irish border open. It's that they fear that what happens if she comes back and says, I've changed nothing except the paper it's printed on this deal. Or, they worry that she won't go that far enough. So it speaks to the level of distrust among Tory Brexiteers and the Prime Minister.
But nevertheless, the Graham Brady amendment, which I think we are right to call it, certainly in the papers here and in the chatter, is attracting attention because it does seem to have at least a chance of getting a majority in the voting later.
Absolutely.
Let's just speculate that it does get a majority. What does she do next? And what are the prospects of her persuading our negotiating partners in Brussels to open that can of worms again?
Well, under that premise, I should quickly explain that there's also a previous amendment they'll have been debating called, put by Labour MP Yvette Cooper to potentially put in a bill to delay Brexit for fear of there being a no-deal Brexit. And so that, if that passes, that would then terrify Eurosceptics into thinking, OK, we need to just stick with the Prime Minister, she's our best hope.
Because we might lose Brexit altogether.
Quite so. And so that's where they would be trying to give her this order, please find something better. And so in short, what would happen is a battle of wills between the UK Parliament and the European Parliament. Because while, yes, European leaders, the leaders of member states, are maybe more pragmatic, they are, if the ticking clock is ticking too loudly, they are able to try and find compromises as we approach March 29th. But the European Parliament, with Guy Verhofstadt, very much a vociferous leader, Brexit point man for the Parliament, they are threatening to vote the thing down if there's not a solid, all-weather, permanent backstop in place. So it's very much a case of, at that point, a sort of machismo, a show-off, a Mexican standoff, if we like.
Chicken.
Which may well mean that we may end up back here in a few weeks' time and finding ourselves staring down the barrel of no deal. But if so, that's what the Prime Minister may hope. Fine, come back to my original deal. Let's maybe think about that again.
Oh, my goodness me. Well, thank you very much, Asa Bennett, for trying to plot a way through, for us mere mortals, through the Byzantine complexities of what is going on in the British Parliament. And as we are always reminded as the days go by, I think it's now 59 days to Brexit, 29th of March.
Yes, under 2 months.
The clock is ticking, time is running out, one of the worst cliches, but it is absolutely true. So the pressure is growing, surely, on MPs here to try and find a way forward, and then hopefully the EU will be listening, as they have been patiently, for us trying to resolve this mess. Back to you.